Hey guys, welcome back to HyperTora. I've got my Tokyo treat for December here, which is supposedly an all new updated box. They've made some changes to it. Looking compared to last month's box, the boxes are exactly the same size actually for premium, so there's not much difference there. But the logos themselves have actually changed and some of the stuff around the outside. I'm not sure if that's a change that happens every month. I can't remember what the boxes before last month's looked like, but if they're all the same as last month, then this is slightly different. But the idea is it's going to be more party snacks and share packs in here, as well as I think a few more anime related themed snacks, which would be pretty cool. The theme for December is snack Euphoria, so I'm expecting a lot of the items in here to be snacky rather than too much kind of sweets and chocolate. So maybe kind of snacks and share packs, I think, as well as things where I think the share packs are kind of big bags of stuff with individually wrapped sweets inside, so you can share them around without needing the bag to go off or whatever. But yeah, if you want to get this box, you can still get it until the 30th of November. And if you want $5 off, you can use the link down in the description below, or it should be on screen now as well. That gives you up to $5 off depending on the size of the box you get. I think they've reduced it to premium and normal size now. I think they've got rid of the small box. But you have to look online. And $5 off is actually better off than the 10% codes you find on most of their social medias, because that's only about for a $35 box, it's only about $3.50. So $5 off is a lot better on the premium box anyway. But let's open this up and see what's inside and see what's different. I'm excited to see what they've changed. Okie dokie. Aha. So, well, that's pretty cool. So we got welcome to the Tokyo treat family here. And then we've got some other things here. This is Konnichiwa. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It just says, welcome to the bigger and better Tokyo treat. We've evolved to have all sorts of new types of snacks and even larger, better quality treats, which will be a lot more interesting. And there's some more stuff there about logging in. Now, there is normally a sheet on the top of this with information about what's in here. I'm not sure if that's actually in here at the bottom. But yeah. We've got a bonus item here. I don't know if this is the item I was missing last month. They did say they would stick it in my box for me. And I think it was from the premium. So I will open that quickly to start off with. So yeah, there's a little magnet. And I think that was what I was supposed to get in last month's premium box, but was missing from my box. And that's quite a nifty little magnet actually. It's pretty nice. It's kind of silicone with a magnetic backing on it there, but let's get into all of these things. We got our DIY candy on the top here. These are pretty cool to make. I think I've had something similar to this before. It's basically a load of little balls you kind of mix up. It's a bit like a gummy, I think, and you have lots of little pipettes, so you mix water up with the different colorings and use the pipette to make little balls, and you can make little shapes and coloring out of them on the little grid. So that's a nice little fun activity, especially for kids. I was hoping there'd be a leaflet in here. I still can't actually see one, so I think I'm going without this month. Up next, we've got a savory snack. It looks like some sort of barbecue beef flavouring based on the picture there, and they look like kind of French fries shaped crisps, which are pretty cool. Although I don't tend to eat too many barbecue snacks, but I know a lot of you out there will. What do we have here? We also have some more crisps. I think we've had, or chips if you're from the States. This looks very familiar. I think we've had something similar to this in one of the boxes before. I'm not too sure these are any particular flavour. I think they're just kind of your normal potato chips. And what do we have here? This, it's hard to tell what's from which box. So these, pretty cool. So we got a kind of, how many packs is this? 1, 2. We got a 4-pack of snacks here. These look like biscuits or rice crackers. I think we've had similar things to this before in the kind of Amiibo sachet, but individually packaged. So I can open one of those up in a little bit and have a look. There's supposed to be, on average, more items in the box, or a defined amount of items. The premium before, I think, looking online compared to what came last month, there's slightly less items in here, but they're more value. Whereas the previous months before that, this has more items in than them. Up next, we have our what looks like our anime items. We got a rather weird kind of Halloweeny Pokemon item. So I'm assuming there's a card in there and a little bit of candy. We've also got from Lotte. I think this is chewing gum. They mentioned something online about this. I think it's chewing gum that's meant to make you smarter or think better. Because I think chewing anyway is meant to increase your brain activity, especially or to help you remember things. If you chew while you're trying to remember at the same time as chew when you're trying to learning what you're trying to remember at the same time, it can help you remember stuff. So that'd be interesting. I'm not sure what flavour that will be, but they did say they were going to start including things like that and possibly throat sweets and other things like that. We got our usual. I think I want to say Moibo, but I can't remember the name of it. But these snacks are pretty funky. We tend to get one in every single Tokyo treat. They're just kind of like giant Wotsits is the best way to describe them. But they're kind of, some of them are kind of sweet, or so it's quite hard to describe them. Up next we have another kind of crisp slash I think I want to say puffed rice style snack in strawberry flavouring. I think we've had something like this before, which is pretty cool. It almost looks like the lettering was going to indicate there was chocolate in there, but I think it's just strawberry flavoured. I think we've had big bags of these before. The shape looks very familiar. What do we have here? This always reminds me, I think, of Bombay Mix, the kind of thing that's in there. So I'll open that up in a little bit to see what's in it. That looks pretty cool. So this says sour paper. I'm assuming this is a kind of gummy, and I was thinking cola, but I think that's just plain old Remove flavoured, which is basically a plain soda flavour if you've never had it before. The closest thing I can think of is lemonade, but not quite lemonade for Remove. And then we have some more very similar things to this kind of puffed rice, but we have a grape flavoured, and I don't think I've had a grape flavoured one of these before. We've definitely had these before, but not in grape. So I'm quite excited about that. I love grape and melon flavoured snacks in Japan, so that's going to be a really nice item to try out. And then up next we have some raspberry flavoured hard candy that you can suck on. We've had, I think last month or the month before, we had some melon soda or melon float versions of this. So it was basically melon with ice cream float on top. They were absolutely amazing. So I imagine these will be pretty similar and pretty amazing as well. And sometimes as you go through to the centre, the flavour changes. We've got two more items in here. We've got our party share pack. So this is the new thing that they're introducing, that they were talking about online. Things that basically a big pack of stuff which has individually wrapped items inside so that you can share it with other people, which is great for me unboxing because it means I can open and try things without everything going off. So these are obviously matcha flavour, which we haven't had from Tokyo Treat in a while. And there's a bunch of miniature Kit Kats in here, which are pretty cool. And that colour is very similar to that Lotte Brain candy there, which makes me think that could also be matcha flavoured, which I haven't been too keen on since I went to a proper tea ceremony, because that is extremely bitter compared to the candy matcha that you get. And then finally in here we have our drink, which they did tease on social media, is a Fanta drink, but pear Fanta. So that's something interesting. I don't think I've ever had fizzy pear before. Definitely not pear Fanta. I didn't even know Fanta did a pear flavouring. And that's always interesting packaging to me. Because Fanta, normally for me, I'm used to seeing orange Fanta as the main one in the UK. You do get a few other flavours. But you have a giant orange can or orange bottle with a Fanta logo on it. So that's pretty cool. And it's nice to see the Fanta logo there in Japanese as well. So I'm going to try some of these things. I want to do the DIY as well. So I'm going to try some of the pear Fanta first, because I want to see what that's like. That's too fizzy. Definitely smells nice. It smells a bit like Appleade to me. I describe that as a pear version of Appleade or Appletizer. It's really quite nice. It's quite refreshing. I always find pear a lot more refreshing than apple at times because it's a lot lighter. So, Kit Kat, matcha Kit Kat. If you haven't had these before, I've had plenty of these before, but I'm not sure we've had these in this box. I prefer the matcha with Sakura, which is cherry blossom, because it's a little bit lighter and a lot sweeter. But you get a stronger flavouring of matcha off that. Normally, I find this kind of stuff is mixed with white chocolate. You do get Kit Kats, which are your normal milk chocolate mixed with the flavouring, but most of the flavoured Kit Kats are mixed with milk chocolate, because obviously it brings the flavour out a bit more. But they're really nice. And you can see on the inside there, look, the flavouring goes all the way through the centre. Really nice. And they easily melt in your hands if you're not careful as well. Now, I do want to see what these grape snacks are like, because I've not had a grape version of these. There's a very typical smell for grape flavoured candy and soda in Japan, which I just don't get in the UK. I've never found grape candies like this in the UK without going to some sort of American candy or Japanese candy store. So these smell absolutely amazing. And they have that amazing grape flavour as well, which I only ever get to experience in these boxes that I get, as well as when I go over to Japan itself. So that's really nice. These I don't think I'll open for now, because we've had similar before. Raspberry is something that most people have tried, and I can show you what one looks like, because it would take me far too long to eat one. But they're just kind of little hard sugar candy balls, and they're normally very nice there. So I do want to show you what the Bombay style mixed stuff is like. Or at least I describe it as the packaging is looking like Bombay mix. On the inside, it's not that at all. They're little rice puffs, actually. I think they're soy sauce flavoured, just from the smell. So there's definitely soy sauce flavouring in this one, which that's quite a rich soy sauce as well. So that's almost overpowering some of the other stuff I'm eating. I do want to look in the Pokemon item here. So I wonder if I get a card or a sticker. It'd be interesting to find out. There's an actual Pokemon card in here. Huh. So it looks like, well, I think it's Geodude. And a card all in Japanese, which is pretty cool. I don't know how valuable these cards are. They look quite thin compared to normal playing cards. So I'm not sure whether this is a kind of toy or kind of, not fake, but a kind of made up playing card compared to your normal. And then we seem to have a gummy snack in here in the shape of Pokeballs. I don't know if there's any indication of the flavour. It smells like grape. I think that was grape. It was hard to tell. It wasn't too overpowering in the flavour there. Although I almost did think that was strawberry. Now the Think Smarter candy. I don't know what to expect with this. I've never seen anything like this before, so I have no clue what to expect. Please do comment down below and let me know what you think of these. If you do get the box, or what you just think of candy that's supposed to make you smarter in general. I think the first test is opening the packaging. So yeah, it's a little chewing gum. So it's a tray with a load of foil, individually wrapped gum in there. And I think it's matcha just based on the green colouring. But there's only one way to tell. No, there's definitely a strong kind of mint or spearmint taste to that, which I will finish for now, because that's going to overpower my taste buds for trying everything else, which I don't quite want to do. But that's very minty fresh, and I don't know if I'm starting to feel smarter or not. But yeah, that was quite cool. Now the crisps, obviously, I think they're just plain old crisps or chips, depending what you've got. And I think these kind of savoury snacks are the kind of thing I don't need to open. They're quite self-explanatory. We've opened some of these before. Most people know what they're like. It's been a while since I've opened one of these, and because it is December, it's a Christmas theme candy. So we'll show you what these are like. So if you've had Wotsits before, it's basically a giant puffed piece of corn. Flavour of this one, I'm not too sure. Tastes exactly like eating a load of sweet corn. So a nice corn snack there. It's got a hole in the centre. And you get a lot of these kind of snacks in kind of, not vending machines, but like claw machines and arcade games that have kind of sweets and stuff, snacks like this as a prize because they're quite cheap to get. There. These are going to be very similar to these that we just opened. So I don't think there's much use for me opening these. But the strawberry flavoured, which I think we've had before. So they're pretty cool. I do want to open one of these up. And it's quite nice, we got a kind of ream of these. So they almost taste or smell like soy sauce as well. So they're kind of little, almost like little biscuits, at least in shape. So it's kind of a puffed rice rather than puffed corn. At least I think it reminds me of puffed up rice. And again, that has a soy sauce, hint of soy sauce flavouring to it, which is pretty cool. Or if you love soy sauce, if you're not a big fan of soy sauce, quite a few things in this box might not be quite that right for you. I do want to see what this is. So sour paper is what they called it. To me, this is just a kind of giant gummy lace. I wouldn't say it's massively sour. It definitely tastes like Remoon soda, which is what I was expecting. Because generally when you see a soda bottle in there that's blue, it's just a generic see-through or aqua colour. It generally means Remoon. So that's really nice. And there's not many gummy items in this box. There's been a few. So there's quite a lot of snack or savoury items in there. My preference is generally for kind of gummies and sweet items. But nonetheless, it's a good box. And let's open this DIY up. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to, because I don't have a booklet in here, I can't tell what the instructions are supposed to be in English. So you'll have to bear with me for this. We've got a bunch of sachets here. So I'm assuming that's normally great. This will probably be strawberry. That will either be apple or melon. I think that'll be orange, and this will probably be plain old Remoon flavouring. We do have several items on here. This is perforated, that's good. Half the time I'm cutting with these with knives. So we got different kind of pots here for us to mix these up in without mixing all the colours up. We got a kind of nice diagram here with some kind of examples of things that we can make. And then we've got our little dots here to make our little candy drawings with. So this is going to be reasonably difficult to work out. I can tell I need water in the star. I think there's up to a line, the middle line in here, and then I add the green sachet, and then I can put the blue, orange and red ones in here, the different powders, I think, and then mix them together. So I think these three holes here so that I can use the pipette and actually mix different colours together to get different flavors and different colors, which would be pretty interesting. So let's try this and see what I come out with. So I just want to make sure the bottom of this is flat and go up to the middle line from what I can tell. So this is where the normal Tokyo Treat booklet is very useful. I might actually message them on Twitter and ask them, was there meant to be a leaflet with instructions in it? Or have they just forgotten it? Because that was really useful to have. It could be they're going like Doki Doki Boxy was and putting it online. I know you can view what was in each box online now. You can go on the website and generally look it up, which is quite useful. But not so useful for seeing your DIY information. So, from what I can tell, I need to add the green, this little green sachet here, into that water that I've just poured. I think I put too much in there. Now I put this on the table. I've got nowhere to pour this out really, so I just have to hope that I've just not overdone it. And I'm going to try and mix this together using the pipette. So I don't think there's any particular colour to this. That's that mixed up. So from this, I've got multiple colours. It's just hard to read. I don't know if there's any particular sort of order these need to go in. I've got quite a few sachets here. And I could, for all I know, be doing this entirely wrong. So orange, blue and red. I'm not entirely sure what I meant to do with the purple one yet. But from what I understand, I think I want to mix some of this water with the different colours. Although that might be a little bit too much. So you can, I don't know, you can't quite see on the camera, but depending on how much you add, these either go a little bit more liquidy or a little bit more solid there. And I do want to, I have a feeling this would probably be the one that should have gone in that big compartment over the green. I'm not entirely sure. So I think I'm going to mix this with the larger one there. I could just be making a mess now. So I wish I had instructions for this. That's making quite a big gloopy mess. But it smells quite nice. So I think some of this might have meant to have been mixed in with each of these colourings actually, because it's turned into a jelly. I don't know if you can see. So it's kind of made a nice jello, which is white. So I'm going to mix this in with the different colours just to thicken them up. So I think that's what I was meant to have done. Okie dokie, so I think I've got a kind of usable red, blue and yellow here. It's not gone as well as I'd hoped, and I think I was meant to be able to make some other colours out of this, but I think I've gone a little bit too far to try and do anything else. So we've got these little dots here to try and make a pattern with, and I think I was meant to have some sort of green based and purple based on the colourings here, but this is what I've got nonetheless. So let's see what I can do. That's pretty cool. So I think I've had one of these before, but I never actually sat and spent all the time making it. But I might just This might just be a multicoloured flower because I think it's the best I might manage to do for your nails so it don't take too long. That's pretty cool. So I've made a little kind of flower thing there. And then you can obviously make bigger shapes, and if you're more artistic than me, you can make some better things like this, or the kind of pictures that are on the packaging, which is pretty cool. Whether I've done this correctly, I don't have a clue. I haven't. Looking at the last instructions, that last sachet was meant to be poured over this with water. So I've done that entirely wrong. So hopefully you guys, if you get this, you'll have the information booklet with how to do this DIY on it. I don't think I was far off, because obviously the green sachet, I think the green sachet I should have put into here in the first place, with the water, and I think I should have filled up the water again with each of these individually and mixed them up. So I obviously haven't paid enough attention to the instructions here. Which you can sort of tell. So yeah, I think the first sachet I always used was meant to be mixed with water, put into here so that it becomes sort of jello in contact, or it doesn't become jello, but keeps this kind of stuff as a layer. Then you mix up the colours and put them in where you want them, and then I think you mix this one with water, and then you pour this on top of these, and then they'll turn into kind of little jellos. I think I've kind of, even though I've done it wrong, I think I've got the stuff mixed correctly to get the kind of jello effect anyway. But nonetheless, if you're going to do it, please do try and do it a little bit better than I have. But otherwise, that's it for this box. Thank you for watching. Please do hit the like button down below, and please do go down below and subscribe if you haven't already. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.